So week 1 starts with a lot of heavy hitters. I think this week compared to week 8, and I think week 11 and 13 are pretty good weeks for college football. Same with week 6. Week 6 got a lot of fun games. Going to highlight 5 of the most important games this week and just go over who my predicted winner is, but also just a little bit of some key elements to cover and some questions that I have, concerns going into it. All right, so the first game, Utah against Florida. This was a really good game last year. It ended on an interception thrown by Cam Rising. I think Utah, they're at Rice-Eccles for this one. Gators got to come to town. I think the biggest question surrounding this, because both teams are dealing with question marks on the roster, is Cam going to be ready for this game? I personally think he is. I think, just like how Joe Burrow's situation with his injury, coaches don't like to say if their player is 100% healthy or not, just to throw the other opponent off just a little bit in their game prep. I think he's ready to go. And personally, I think if Cam Rising gets the start, dude, they're going to have Gators for dinner there in Salt Lake. TCU against Colorado. This is going to be Coach Prime's first game, in a higher level of competition of college football. He's now in the Pac-12, which is soon to be the Big 12. All the transfers that came, with Coach Prime over here to Colorado, are they going to adjust a lot better? Penn State against West Virginia, a rivalry that hasn't happened in a very long time. The last time these two teams played was in '92, and Penn State's coming off of like 4 or 5 straight wins. I'm going to take the safe pick and still pick Penn State. JT Daniels entered the transfer portal, and he's now with Rice. And so it's like, if JT Daniels stayed with West Virginia, I would take West Virginia probably. Florida State against LSU. Another, gosh, is it too much hype? Is there way too much hype? We got a 5 seed and we got an 8 seed. Which is funny is because I looked at, I rewatched the highlights. This time last year when they met, neutral site game, it's bound to be another neutral site game. No shocker there. None of these teams were ranked. Hopefully we'll have another close nail biter. And I think the team that's going to lose is going to be the coach that cracks first. I mean, we saw it, like Florida State was up big in that game last season. But then that defense of the Seminoles, they just let them in. They let them go 99 yards in just a little over a minute. Missed the PAT, which ultimately had Florida State winning it. Just for fun, I said, heck, why not? Let's just run this thing back and have the same type of outcome for this game, where LSU either wins on a missed field goal by the Seminoles or made field goal. And so instead of Florida State walking away with the win, I'm going to take the Tigers on this one. To wrap up this video, we got North Carolina against South Carolina. Battle of the Carolinas. Is Drake May the real deal? I think there's a lot of hype behind him because we know who the number 1 quarterback is. It's Caleb Williams. Drake May is that close too. And I think it's funny because I remember, when I was a Sooner fan, still am, but back in 2020 when Spencer Rattler was supposedly another Heisman frontrunner, top draft prospect, dude's nowhere near the top 25. Not saying that he is, not saying that he isn't, but it's like, how's Spencer Rattler and the Gamecocks going to go into this game? Is their end of season momentum going to roll into this next season? And they're absolutely just going to cruise through the Tar Heels in week 1 because there's so much hype behind the Tar Heels and Drake May because of his freshman season. Personally, I don't know. Like, I haven't watched enough of Drake May to be like, yep, he's a solid number 2 quarterback. I personally would take, we got other guys like JJ McCarthy, who's been up there and he's been to the big games. We've got Quinn Ewers out of Texas. We've got Sam Hartman with Notre Dame. So there are a lot of other big quarterbacks who I know have played the big games and can be that solid number 2 behind Caleb Williams, but we just don't know. And I'm nervous that is going to affect how the Tar Heels end up playing because if we remember back in 2021, there's a lot of hype behind Sam Howell. What happened? They played Notre Dame and got whacked. And then that derailed the rest of their season. I had them playing in the ACC championship against Clemson. Both teams being ranked, in the top 15, 11, 10-win teams. And they had a losing season. Anyways, thanks for listening to me ramble this long. Hopefully we have an awesome opening week. Those were all my picks and stuff. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.